So far, it's just, I don't know if God just wants me to marry a 5'11" or 5'10" guy. Just say that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So today's video, I'm going to be doing a chit chatty get ready with me. So I'm going to be getting ready, putting my makeup on, and also styling this wig. This wig is from RPGSHOW. I will put the name and the specs down below. So I thought I would just answer some questions. I asked these questions on Instagram quite a while ago now. I haven't done this in a very long time. I haven't done a chit chatty, not even like a makeup video in probably the entire year. Yeah, so yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so these wigs are so easy to apply that honestly it literally requires, you don't require much like work. So I'm just going to cut the lace and then we're going to go straight into answering the Q&A questions. And then we'll curl the hair afterwards. RPGSHOW wigs are usually like 22 inches. I think this might be 26, even 24 or 26. And yeah, so they do have longer lengths now. So I opted for this style. It's got like it's just got some, you know, some blonde, little blonde highlights just scattered around. Very subtle, it's like it's not really like in your face. 200% density. I think the way to also make your hair feel fuller is to, you know, wash it as soon as you get it out of the box and, you know, and blow dry it. It will give a bit more volume, but I didn't really have time to do it, so I'm gonna go straight into it. This is a 13x6 as well, which I love, and then HD lace. So I'm gonna cut the lace. I'm actually going to try the olive oil fix it hold spray. I usually use my Got To Be, but I've seen a lot of people use this and it seems to work, so I'm going to do that. They tend to spray it over, like over the hair as opposed to like underneath, so we're going to try that today. I don't know. So they won't cut the lace until after they sprayed it. So I think this technique is much better when you don't have makeup on. I tend to, you know, apply my wigs before I have my makeup on anyway, so I can like, you know, clean off any excess glue or spray or whatever before I put on my foundation. The Fenty primer, but I'm going to use the Becca one today. The Fenty matte primer, soft matte primer. Really like it actually. So it's just so weird. I haven't done my makeup on camera for a very long time. Got some orange juice, just ignore me. I've been getting, you know, I've been losing energy, so I just need to get some vitamin C down me. The freshly squeezed ones. I just went Tesco's Finest. Freshly squeezed orange juice, bangs. I don't know. Like literally fresh orange juice, not the ones in cartons, bang. And they cost a little bit more, but I'd much rather pay for that, and the taste is just divine. Anyway, foundation. So first question, let me just put my foundation on because I wouldn't be able to. Okay, how is your dating experience so far? You used to talk about Hinge. Oh, dating. So I'm still dating. So this year has been an emotional roller coaster in that department. don't want to go too deep into it, but I'm currently dating now. Kind of have been for the most part of this year. I did meet a couple of people on Hinge, but the thing about apps, I feel like when it comes to dating apps compared to meeting people organically, I feel like there's so many options, and like when you meet someone in real life, like what is the possibility that you'd meet 4 or 5 people in one night at the same time and they'd all be your type? It's very rare. With apps and stuff, first of all, sometimes you do end up missing out on good people because you think, oh, maybe their picture isn't that nice enough, or they haven't said much on their profile and their whatever, and you're like, I'm not my type or whatever. Or something. A lot of people also lie as well on these apps, so you just don't know what you're getting. But I really prefer meeting people organically, like go for a party or go for an event and just start talking. So yeah, I found that people, because there's so many options, if one person isn't really giving everything, you have the option of just talking to somebody else, and you're literally talking to multiple people. Can we normalize, guys? Can we normalize? So I'm charging my phone. Can we normalize not being able to talk to multiple people at one time? I cannot physically, mentally deal with it. I don't know how people do it. I can say, oh, it's the best way, you know, keep your options open, da 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 da. I can't do it. If I like you, I want to keep talking to you. Like, if I feel the need to still talk to other people, then clearly you're not really tickling my fancy. And fair enough, sometimes it takes time before you get to know someone and you see all the different sides. But with me, like having to have 3 people on the go, it's just mentally draining. Yeah, so just like from in the past, like I'd meet someone, we'd date for a while, not for very long, and then we end up, you know, being boyfriend girlfriend. So like I haven't really experienced like dating to its full entirety. Is that the word? Like when you say like spending months and months and months talking to different people, I haven't really done that. Like it's in the past. It's only now that I'm like, oh, is this what people are doing? But like I said, I can't deal. Like if I like you, and say I meet 2 people and I'm talking to 2 people, there's always going to be one person who stands out from the other, and because I want to put my all into it, I will focus on one person. I've tried it, I can't do the 2, 3, 4, 5 people at one point at one time. And this year I guess I learned that the hard way, because you know there was one person who told me from the very beginning that he was talking to like 3 other girls, and as much as that's what people do, like I didn't like that. I was like, so if you still feel the need to still speak to these girls after like 2, 3 months in, then clearly we're not compatible, or I'm not for you, or whatever. You know, I mean, there were other reasons why we didn't work out, but yeah, some people are mad in this world. I honestly want to go back to the regular way of meeting people organically, and not feeling greedy because you have so many, you know. But I do understand, like, take your time with people. Don't fully like invest in that one person, because you never know. But at the same time, it's like, okay, it doesn't work out, you move on to the next. First of all, it seems like my type. So my type, I don't really have a type, but when I see it, I'll know. Does that make sense? So I don't have like you have the opposite, the generic characteristics, but like I don't really have. If I was to look back at all my exes or all my previous situations, they look nothing alike. Okay, so my ideal type is like, you know, tall, because I'm 5'7", so I want someone over 6 foot. Like it's just, you know, over 6 foot. So it just seems, from what I've experienced so far, it seems like my type are the ones who are just waste men, are the ones who don't treat you well, and the people who are below 6 foot, the ones who actually like me for me, are the ones that I'm not attracted to. I know some people say, oh, it's not about just the looks and stuff, but honestly, that initial attraction really, really makes a big difference, and it also determines how you will treat them as well. Like imagine waking up to someone every, you know, when you get married, obviously, waking up to someone every day and staring at them and just like what did I settle for? Like I honestly feel like it's settling, even though like they treat you so well and they treat you amazing. I still feel like getting with someone more for their personality, and nothing to do with attraction at all, chemistry, no chemistry, but they treat you so well, I feel like that's still settling to me, you know. So it just seems like my type, the over 6 foot, the ones that know they look good and the ones that know that they have options to, all seem to either be emotionally unavailable, narcissists, or just 1950s mindset, you know. Yeah, so like the reason one like it didn't work out with, you know, one guy was because he was basically okay. I asked the question, like obviously these questions, this is why it's so good to, I guess, to date for a while and not jump into like titles and, you know, stuff like that, because you need to know what people think about things. Because imagine getting married and then finding out that your partner doesn't want to have kids, or just something that's different to you and you're already married. Like, what would you do? The Morphe M536, I've been using this to blend out my concealer, like my under eye concealer. I don't know what it is about it. I don't even wait for my concealer to dry. I literally just start blending away. So yeah, one of my favorites. I think if you want to try something that's really good for blending out concealer but still keeping the product on the skin, I would get this brush. Okay, so yeah, so I asked because obviously I want to, you know, my feelings of having kids change. So I asked the question, you know, when the kid comes, what is the role, or what do you think percentage wise is the role of the husband when it comes to, like, you know, the night shifts, you know, when the babies are pretty small, you know, during that time where, you know, the sleepless nights and stuff like that. What is the role, like how much, you know, support would you give? And he said to me, in percentage, 30-70, meaning he would have 30% input on our kids' life, our kids' upbringing, our kids, the night shifts, and, you know, taking care of the baby, and 70 me. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, I'm gonna suffer in a situation. If I got married to this guy, I would be suffering. Imagine being a single married woman. That is my worst fear. And because of that, my wanting to have kids keeps changing, because I'm meeting guys who are just not about it, who are going to make me miserable. His argument was, oh well, you know, I work 9 to 5, you know, I need to get to work, like I can't be tired when going to work the next day. I think he said Monday to Friday, and I'll take the kid over the weekend and let you rest. So basically you're telling me, so basically from Monday to Friday I'm asking you for help and you say it's not your day, it's not my day to help. Can you imagine that household? Like I cannot. When I imagine my future husband, I imagine a very hands-on father. I imagine somebody who actually wants to be in all parts of the child's development. You're telling me because, oh well, I'm paying for everything, which is another thing. A lot of these guys I seem to meet, maybe not a lot, maybe this particular person, because this is the first time I'm actually experiencing something like this. A lot of, and to be fair, a lot of guys would think like him. Basically think like, well, if I'm, you know, providing, I'm paying all the bills and the mortgage and all that kind of stuff, then that means, you know, the least you can do is take care of our kids. And it's funny because, like, I guess maybe a lot of women out there don't want to do anything. They just want to be taken care of. Someone like me who has been so self-sufficient for the majority of her adult life, for all of my adult life, I don't want a man to take care of me financially. I can do that already. So I want somebody who will be there for me emotionally and give me the support I need, because then it means I don't need to get married. If you're telling me that you're only adding value, financial value to my life, then I don't need to get married, because I already have that. Do you get what I mean? So like, I want a husband because I want the partnership. I want someone who will be the head of the home and who also be a father, and not just someone who wants a wife, somebody who wants to be a husband also. Does that make sense? And which also means to me, if that means not having kids, then not having kids, because I'm not going to have kids without a husband. So it's mad seeing how these people still think like this in 2021, and it's just like, I can't. There isn't a specific percentage of who should be doing what. Oh, you should do this, this is your role, that's your role. It's just helping each other where it's necessary. So even when it comes to like cooking, like, not saying, oh, you know, the wife is only going to be the one who cooks and he will just sit around and like wait for things to be like, no, I can't. I need my husband. And even cooking is such a basic skill that every man should have anyway. I need my husband, my partner, to be your partner. So dating and learning all these things about people and how they think, it just puts me off. It puts me off so much. So yeah, there was a lot more things that put me off about this guy, but I just couldn't believe at your big age, I think it was like 30, he was 37, at your big age, this is what the kind of conversation we're having now. I made him feel like I didn't need him. So basically the kind of person he wanted a yes woman. He wanted somebody who would need him financially, wanted somebody who would go with everything he said, because we talked about different things, you know, getting a home together and stuff like that. He just didn't like the fact that I made my own money and I didn't need support in that department. Like I'm telling you or showing you that I can bring extra income into the household, and that still wasn't good enough for you. Like you want to feel like, oh, I'm the man, you know, I'm the man that provided the whole thing, when your wife most likely makes a lot more than you, but she wants support. He's like, oh, I don't want you to put any money, I want you to invest your money, which is fair enough, but most women wouldn't even offer to put money into the home, you know. So it's like he wanted that feeling of like control. Okay, well, I've paid for everything, so I decide what happens. And I'm like, I can't be that person, you know. So like I said, so far it's just, I don't know if God just wants me to marry a 5'11" or 5'10" guy. Just say that. God, if you want me to marry a 5'9", 5'8", 5'10" guy, just say that, you know, because those seem to be the ones that, you know, seem to treat me and seem to have like, we have similar mindsets and way of thinking. But no, it was just so disappointing. I think it was a Nigerian man, by the way. It's disappointing. Clearly it must have been, you know, how he saw his parents, and with me there is no ceiling for where I want to get to, and someone being okay with just being mediocre and the bare minimum, I just can't be with. Like I'm all about what's next, what's higher, you know. Obviously the way I think, I don't really live a regular life, if that makes sense. So it's like how I see things might not be the same with a regular person. I mean, I am regular, but you know what I mean, like money comes a little bit easier for you know, content creators and stuff like that. So I guess with him, he was just hated the fact that I was making money quicker than he was, and like most people would have to save for months to earn 10k, you know. And like you could do you know, a collab or an ad for a brand and you just get 10k on the spot. So yeah, and man, it just made me feel, so people that just can't understand, or not okay with, not saying they're not okay with successful women, but like not being the one, the major breadwinner, or knowing that your wife doesn't really need you financially and she has her own voice. And I know whoever he's with now most likely is somebody who was okay with just the bare minimum, and I'm just not. Like, I don't want a 3-bedroom house, I want a 5+ bedroom house for my family. And he was like, oh, you know, that's all great, but then I can be with somebody who thinks three is okay with somebody who's okay with my 3-bedroom house. Oh, why do you need a room for your closet? Why do you need a separate room for your film? Like, just couldn't understand or appreciate or even support what I do. Even if I wanted a room just for my clothes and shoes and bags, and I wasn't an influencer or content creator, so what? Like, you're telling me, it's like you're thinking more about, oh, how much is it gonna cost me? When there's a non-influencer or non-content creator girl who would be okay with not having an extra room with you know, stuff. Just basically saying that my things I was wanting were not necessary. Like I said, it's good that, I guess this is why people say, yeah, you date. Take your time dating and figuring out these things, asking these questions early. Just don't know. Once in, you're emotionally invested, and you find out all these things, you're thinking, what have I got myself into? So yeah, it's just made me mad. It's made me really mad. But anyway, Hinge, when it comes to Hinge, it's got its ups and downs. There were moments where I closed my account, moments where I just stopped going on it because it was just giving me like too much anxiety. It was just too much stress. The kind of nonsense that you see on there, kind of people, conversations that are being had, you just know when someone's serious and when they're not. And you're basically going by you're initially going by their looks, because sometimes they don't even say much on their profile to really gauge how they are. Yeah, you talk to them and then you just realize, for me, like if I meet you for the first time and I don't have some form of chemistry, it's less likely that I will pick it up at some point, like further on along the way. I mean, it's happened before where I didn't find someone attractive and somehow it grew, but there needs to be something, you know, a little spark in between, you know, sorry, in the beginning, for me to feel like, okay, this is gonna go somewhere. Like I was talking to somebody on the phone, everything was great, and then we eventually met up, and throughout the whole time I was on the date, I was just like, I don't feel it. I'm not, like, what am I doing here? I'm not feeling anything. And I felt so bad because obviously now he's like invested, and it's like, how do you now tell someone like, yeah, so I met you now, and it's not giving what I thought it was gonna give. I think it's good to have the conversation when you first match with someone, but then you need to meet quite soon just so you can see how what you feel, because sometimes talking on the phone you might think everything's great until you actually meet them in person. It's a different feeling in person. I'm someone who wants to be like settled. I'm not really about this dating life. I don't have the energy. I really have the energy for it. It's really out. It's just, these streets are just trash. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, over the last few years I've just had a lot of trauma when it comes to, you know, dealing with these men or boys. There's just something about it. It's not even like a superficial thing. It's just the fact that, first of all, I'm 5'7", and like, there's just a feeling of having someone taller than you who can make you feel secure and make like they feel like they look like a man. Let me know like your feelings on that. Like, does it really, does height matter to you? It will have to take someone who blows me away to be able to kind of come down. Ideally I don't want to come down unless 6 foot is literally my minimum. I would, because obviously when I put my heels on I'm 5'11", so I need you to be taller than me. There's just something about it, like when they hold you, you just feel small and you feel protected, and that's what I want to feel like. Again, it doesn't seem like it seems very superficial, but I know if someone understands what I'm trying to say. I love your style, thank you. Yeah, this year, as you probably already seen, like I've been a lot more in my fashion bag than beauty. Like, I absolutely would love to just put outfits together. That's just what I'm into. I've just found myself wearing the same eye look all year long, except on my birthday I had a different eye look, but like, even with that it was still quite similar. Instead of brown I had purple. But yeah, I've just been rocking the same eye look all year, and I just couldn't be bothered. I've felt so uninspired, guys. Like, that's just the reality of it. So uninspired. I'm sure a lot of influencers, a lot of like beauty influencers, or I hate that word so much, but yeah, I'll use it anyway, have felt the same, like in terms of how much content they've brought out on YouTube, like beauty related content. It's just not the same. Do you still watch YouTube videos or YouTube makeup videos, or do you just prefer to see them on Instagram? Let me know, because like, I don't want to give up completely on beauty. Because I know a lot of people still, you know, do people still need help with beauty tips and stuff? I don't know. This day and age, are we still watching tutorials? I don't know. Let me know. Your staple for winter clothing pieces. You gotta have a coat. A coat is definitely one of them. I feel like with a statement coat, or any coat for that matter, it doesn't really matter what you have underneath because you're going to be covered anyway. So your coat kind of is your statement piece. So I would definitely invest in a really cool coat, either like a oversized coat or something with like some sort of pattern, like, you know, the dog tooth, you know, dog tooth trend or dog tooth pattern. Something that stands out, and then you can wear whatever. You can be basic underneath, no one's gonna know, but like I said, your coat will stand out. You definitely have to have some sort of like a staple coat. Boots, ankle boots, knee-high boots, thigh-high boots, they really can elevate a look. Like, you can just be wearing a basic jumper or jumper dress, and you put on those boots and it can literally just take it to another level. So I would say ankle boots. I've really been into the best way to describe them is they look like wellies, those kind of wellish. I probably put a picture of those welly style boots. I have quite a few colours. I have no space anyway. It's so funny how I'm now run out of space. Like, I feel like my next house I would definitely have to have a much bigger closet, because this room is not big enough. Nice bag as well to go with it. A black blazer, oversized blazer. It looks good in any season. So I'd never say that. Oversized coats are always a vibe. So I will definitely do like a winter, you know, winter styling video as well. Where do you do your hair? So my hair, I don't go anywhere to do my hair. I have some of my wigs made for me, or I just have like a wig from like an AliExpress brand, which is like, they have like a, you know, like a stock wig, a full lace wig. There's someone who does my wigs for me. She's EA Hair on Instagram, and she makes my wigs for me. If I'm making them from scratch, like bundles and frontals, I'd send it off to her and she'll make them for me or color them for me as well. So I don't go to anyone specifically, although I would like to have my hair styled on my head. It's been years since I had that done. I get this question a lot, like, what are your go-to perfumes and fragrances? Like, I am so, well, I say basic when it comes to, like, I have a sweet tooth, I have a sweet anything. I tend to go for a lot of like the sweet smelling scents. So like, my favorite brand is Escada, just because they have such tropical, sweet, fruity scents. And I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm literally just doing up one of my go-to looks. I don't know if it's going to work with this hair, but we'll figure it out as we go along. Yeah, so I have literally every single Escada perfume ever made. What else do I have? I just have a bunch of stuff. I get stuff from PR, bunch of like different brands, but like, I love Britney Spears, like anything Britney Spears. I love all her Britney Spears perfumes that come out. So like, I'm very, like, I don't spend a lot of money on perfumes and fragrances. Like, I don't have, what's that one that everyone has, that Baccarat one, Baccarat Rouge. Yeah, I heard, and I have the Zara version of that. I'm not out here spending £200 on perfume, but I know a lot of people really into their perfumes and fragrances. But yeah, I smell the same all year round, basically. Anything fruity, sweety, that's me, you know I'm around. So I'm going in with the brown from the Juvia's Place Chocolates palette. But this is basically what I do all the time. This is my look all the time. So boring, I know, but honestly, it gets the job done. So I'm like, why not? Do you prefer your hair long or short? That's a very good question. Both. So many questions, by the way, on dating life. So many questions. I mean, yeah, my dating life is going. It's just going. It's been a lot. I mean, there were two. It's funny, I don't want to talk about my private life as much. I feel like, you know, let me take my L in silence. If anything goes wrong, no one knows about who it was or who it is. Do you know what I mean? So, this year, I mean, I started this year having to end a situation from like a year-long situation. I don't even know how or why it went on for that long, but it was like a long distance thing, and we met before COVID and lived in the States, and I couldn't go to see him. COVID hit, and you know when someone starts out as like they were intentional and then somehow just drops off. But when I talk about emotional maturity and being emotionally available, some people just don't know how to communicate. Like, I'm big on communication. If something along the way changes for you, like, communicate, you know? The thing with me, which I'm trying to work on, is when I see things I'm not okay with, or might just make me side-eye, I don't tend to leave straight away. I want to be that girl who like, oh, bye, literally straight away. When she sees or hears something that doesn't align with what she wants or what she's looking for, you know, I don't leave straight away. So anyway, yeah, so that was the start of the year, and that was not great because the person just literally just decided to ghost. Like, so it was a lot more to it, but yeah, ghosted and then decided to wish me happy birthday, and then was also pre my Instagram for like 6 months because when I caught COVID. How would you have known that if you weren't watching my stories? So you decided to disappear after me calling your phone however many times and no messages, but then you bypassed all of that to wish me happy birthday, which I ignored, you know. Like, what is that? Like, it's not okay. Like, this whole thing about, oh, people don't owe you anything, I think it's just an excuse for people to be dickheads. for people just to treat people like shit. Like, it's not okay. If we've been speaking and we're supposed to have some sort of mutual respect, yes, you owe me a conversation. What am I gonna do? I'm not gonna come to where you are. We live in different continents. If you can't even have a conversation with someone maturely, you rather ignore them just so you can not have to deal with being accountable, then clearly we're not compatible. I see all these things about, oh, women are not accountable. A lot of men are not either. Like, I met someone after that, and then that didn't work out, and then I met someone after that, and that was the person that was saying that his role in his child's life is 70-30. Anyway, 30-70. So yeah, hasn't been so great in that department. But you know, still dating, still meeting people, still doing what I do. It's just a lot. Like I'm like I said, I just want to just settle down. I'm ready to settle down, honestly. But I know there's no rush. I've seen so many marriages and situations end in the past year and a half, 2 years, and it's awful. So like, marriage isn't even a definite. Like, you think, oh, once you get the ring, it's all, you know, it's definite and everything. It's not. I've had friends who have gone for divorces recently. It's just it's a lot, and I just want to make sure I get the, you know, you take your time, girls, honestly, or guys, girls and guys, take your time, because I'd much rather spend a little bit longer trying to find the right person than get into a relationship or situation really quickly because of pressure. Not that I'm getting pressure anyway, but like, doing that and then you're miserable or you have to get a divorce. That's the worst thing. Why do men come back to you when they are the one that broke up with you? Because they want to see if you're still silly enough to take them back after their effery. And I would honestly, us women, we just kind of, we're all about just when we get like, attention for us is like, we feel like that's an indicator of how, you know, a guy feels about us if they pay us attention. No, they do it because they either whatever they left for isn't fulfilling them, or they didn't expect it to be the way it is, and they come back because they know that you will most likely take them back. And you just have to be strong and like, you know what, I'm not about to sit here and take your BS again. Who'd you take before? So they come back to see that if they still have a chance, and once you let them in, they will still mess it up again. So you just have to be strong. So like, listen, I am not going back there. You try to take me for an idiot, and no, it's just an ego thing a lot of the time. They don't really care. They just want to see if they still have it, if they still got it. So be strong. Don't do it. How do you store your clothes, accessories, shoes without your home looking cluttered? So I have a separate room for my closet. So the room that I'm in right now is my closet. So I have in front of me, I have my bag shelf. To the side of me, I have my clothes, and then on the sides, these sides here, I have my shoes. And in the other room, my mini room, my makeup room, I do have some shelves set up as well for more shoes, my trainers and sneakers. So I need to add 2 extra shelves because my shoe collection is growing. But yeah, I have a separate room, and then downstairs in my kitchen conservatory, I have a big space. So I have 2 extra railings of coats, and then I have in my bedroom that leads into my bathroom. I did a tour of my house. I did a house tour. I know I haven't actually done any updates since then, but I'm still working on my interior design. I have another like hidden closet, more coats. So yeah, that's how I make it. That's the reason, kind of the main reason why I moved, because I wanted more space. I'm still not big enough, but you know, it is what it is. I am trying to downsize, like just not have things clutter. You know, when I get more things sent, I want to be able to get rid of stuff as well. I've been using the Morphe Glamour Bronze. This is Supreme. But I also just recently got the Juvia's Place one. So it looks very red. Yeah, I'll sort that out. So I'm gonna use my face powder and go over that. Trust me, I've been there. I had a situation, obviously back then I didn't know that I was in a narcissistic relationship, so I was always thinking, oh, okay, if he's coming back, you know, I've tried to end things, but he's begging and everything, and crying, and so that means he cares and he wants to change. And for a long time, I didn't realize that was just a tactic that, you know, if you're very familiar with narcissistic relationships and narcissists, you know what I'm talking about. At the time when I was with this person, I had no idea that wasn't even the thing. Until I started Googling stuff like, oh, why my partner is mean to me, why my partner is emotionally abusive, stuff like that. And I started seeing all these articles about narcissists and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, like this makes so much sense. Like all the traits are just, yeah, makes sense. Married a narcissist, advice. Oof, that's very difficult. I mean, it's not difficult because I would, the easy thing is to like leave, but if your partner is mistreating you, he is emotionally, mentally, physically abusive, you should try your hardest. It's so hard to try and advise people with stuff like this when I'm not in a situation. All I know is I can only speak from my experience. I have dated, I have been with a narcissist, so the only thing I would say is run for your life. Run as fast as you can. If it's affecting you, if there are kids involved, that's usually difficult, but I don't like when people always use their kids as an excuse to stay in a horrible situation. But again, I can't speak on it. It's not my business. But yeah, if you're feeling drained, if this person is making you feel, if always acting like the victim and making you feel like you're not good enough, emotionally abusing you, giving you silent treatment, physically abusing you, because I've experienced all three: physical, emotional, mental abuse. You need to think of you. You need to protect yourself. A lot of people have lost their lives, sadly, from, you know, their partner, you know, turning on them. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for anyone. If you can leave, if you can get away, that is honestly the best thing to do, because nobody is worth your life, like, to die. You will always find better, but they will never change. Because first of all, narcissists don't even acknowledge that they have a problem. They're unable to look inwards and, you know, try and fix them. Everyone else is the problem. You know, they're always a victim. So it's hard to fix, because people, oh, can they be cured? Can they change? It's very rare that they do, unless they're aware of what they're doing. Self-awareness is nothing. It's not what narcissists can do. I am like an expert now at spotting, because and then the funny thing is there are different types of narcissists. I am so good at spotting them now that I know what I went through. I do not want to go through that again. So yeah. I really don't have a question. I love your personality and how you stay so true to yourself regardless. Thank you so much. It is a battle. It's been a battle, but 1 second. I'm just trying to take it upwards so that it blends into my highlight. Yeah, you know the light I've got, like, so yeah, the light above me is like causing a little shine on my forehead, but yeah, ignore that. Thanks, by the way. It's been difficult, I'm not gonna lie. This year has been very, very hard for me. It's very hard. Like, I don't want to say I've been miserable, because it's not a complete accurate description of how it felt all year, but I felt very down this year, just one thing after another, and it's just been so hard to try and stay just stay sane. And it is very true. You just don't know what people are going through, honestly. And like, I have tried to fake it all year. When one thing happens, it just kills my morale, and it's so hard to get out of the funk. And I'm really working on it. I mean, I did say last year, oh, maybe I should go to therapy and do all these things. I'm just too emotional. A lot of it is also mindset as well. How you think can really determine your outlook on things. And I tend to dwell a lot in like negative thoughts. Like, I'd be sad and I'd just spend the rest of the day sad. Like, I just want to go. I mean, I think it's good to go through whatever you're going through and not try and like hold it in and just pretend everything's okay. I don't pretend everything's. I can't do it. I can't do it, because eventually something will happen and everything will just come rushing out. I'm really working on it. Obviously, we'll get to the bottom of I mean, I know this, if their issues, their private, I guess personal issues are working on, and it's just, I'm hoping that, you know, I will get out of it, because it does affect everything around me, work, livelihood, just, yeah, I've been a bit of a recluse this year. Even though like lockdown opened up this year, I mean, I guess the summer was good, summer was okay, but again, you know, we go through situations as well, like you in like a relationship or whatever, and if stuff doesn't work out, you know, like that can also affect how you feel. You know, you can get into a dark place. For me, I'm learning to let go of situations a lot faster. If that makes sense. Like if I see something like just I'm not happy with, I shouldn't be giving people the benefit of the doubt. Like 9 times out of 10, that's the reality. That's their reality, and it's not going to change. You know, I have this like, oh, you know, I can work through it. I can work it out. I can compromise. But there's some things I just don't want to compromise on. Like the last situation really made me feel. I was really made to feel less than. Like, you know, I've never felt like this before, and someone is not realizing this person is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. They don't feel like they're worthy enough, so they would bring other people down that feel like that they feel more or less are in a better position than they are, and it's another form of narcissism. I think I realized as time went on that this is actually another form of narcissism. You know, just very covert. So there are different versions, overt, covert, the different versions of narcissists, and it's once you start realizing really similar traits, you're like, wow. I'm trying to be less emotional. I'm like every time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be just less emotional and be more of a bitch so that, you know, guys don't take the piss. But like, there's gonna be someone that will appreciate how emotional you are and how sensitive you are and how much you care. And you just have to be able to let go of the wrong ones quick enough for you to make room for the right one. Social media has really changed the views and relationships. They've normalized all the wrong things. You can't even focus on, you know, the important values in relationships. People are just, you know, glorifying cheating, glorifying all this rapper baby mom lifestyle and saying it's goals. How you speak to yourself and speak about situations can really affect the outcome as well. One thing I also did less this year was pray. I think the spiritual aspects of my personal journey needs to be re-evaluated. I am looking forward to my nephew being born. My brother and sister-in-law are expecting literally and really soon, very soon. And I am so excited. You guys saw how it was when Harry was born. I literally documented his whole like growing up on here. It is such a different feeling because like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, one day I'm like, yes, I want kids, and another day I'm like, nope, I'm good. But I just know that I am gonna love that boy with all my heart. Like, it's gonna be my second child. I guess it'll also be like a little like just to see how it's gonna be if I want to have mine. But I'm so excited. Like the whole family is excited. We're looking forward to this new addition to our family, and it's a blessing. Kids, I know people say kids are blessings, but you know, it's hard to talk about. People find it hard to talk about their experiences because social media makes it not a safe place to be honest as well. People just have, I don't know, people are just weird. Human beings are weird. It's a lot. You really can't say anything without people getting offended. Like it's your experience, but somehow people make it about them. Anyway, I hope I change my mindset when it comes to kids. I think for me, it's just more of just the risks, basically. It's the risks, and then having to now get into a situation where you're with someone who doesn't even want to be there for the kids. Imagine. And then they're the ones opening their big mouth to say they want 3 or 4 plus kids. It's you that will have the 3 or 4 plus kids, not me. They're partners who just scream amazing husbands and even more fantastic dad. So I hope that's my, you know, that's my testimony. But yeah, I guess another reason why I've just been so miserable is because I haven't been away. I haven't been able to travel, and if you know me or if you've been following me, you know that I do travel a lot, like quite frequently every year. And it has been the worst feeling. I know a lot of you be saying, oh, you know, why don't you go away, do a solo trip? Guys, trust me that I have contemplated this solo trip thing. I honestly don't think it's for me. Like, I don't think it's for me. And I guess it's up to me whether I stay in the country or not. So I can't really complain, but at the same time it's like, yes, I don't want to go. I have the option to go alone, but I don't want to. There's something about, you know, going with people. Basically, I'm in a position where I can just up and leave, but you know, my friends may not be. Obviously, I'd love to go. I'd love to do a vacation as well, and that almost happened, but then, you know, it didn't. But anyway, yeah, what was I gonna say? So yeah, so not being able to have left the country for like, it's coming up to 3 years now, since 2019, can really take a toll on someone who genuinely loves traveling and just feels good from being able to leave this country. So 2022, I have plans. Well, I haven't had any plans set yet, but I plan to be away and take the piss from like traveling, because I have suffered. It's been far too long. It really affected a lot of things, you know, business wise, like my brand. Like it made me just have to like I literally shut down. Like I went quiet for like for the most part of the year. You know, I did have a lot of plans and a lot of updates and stuff, and I just physically just couldn't do anything. Like I just wasn't in that right frame of mind. Like I just like, how am I able to do this while I'm feeling like this, you know? Like, my well-being comes first, you know? It might seem like I'm being forgotten about or whatever, but like, no one really knows what I'm going through, and I'd much rather tackle that first before, you know, I think about what the public is thinking. I don't know if that makes sense. I just wanted to be okay with myself before I could, you know, perform out there, if that makes sense. Next year is the year that everything just comes to fruition, basically. I definitely need to work on my, you know, my personal life, my prayer life, because I do think that's very important. I don't really think I believe in manifestations. I'd much rather commit these things to God. I feel like it's only God that's able to grant these things. If it's not meant for me, then it's not going to happen, despite how many times I might chant it in the morning. Does that make sense? You know, or repeat myself, or how many mood boards I create. God's plan is the only plan that's going to work. So I might say, oh, I want this, I want this, I want that, but if it's not in his plan, it's not going to happen. But at the same time, what item is on your luxury wish list? Honestly, at the moment, I don't really have anything. I'm trying to focus this year, well, next year, I'm trying to focus on getting my house together, getting all the interior stuff together, because it's just difficult when you don't have like you don't really have an idea in mind. You just want what looks good. And I did consider maybe getting an interior designer to give me some direction, but I'm still in two minds, and maybe I can just find these things myself. But yeah, because when you don't have direction and your plan keeps changing, or you just keep buying things for the sake of it, you tend to be stuck. So like, you're buying things just because they look good with no real direction, you tend to be stuck. So I want to focus more on that. Like, I honestly don't need anything luxury wise, unless somebody wants to buy me something for my birthday. But yeah, like, I don't really need anything. So I'm going to focus more on getting my house together, basically. Funny enough, I did buy quite a few designer pieces this year. I haven't done an updated video on this. Quite a lot, actually. if I was to look through everything that I bought quite a lot of designer bags this year. It's quite strange. I think I was just so you know what, I deserve it. I'm going through it. I need it. Yeah, I got some like pre-loved and obviously quite a few like brand new items. So I did do a poll and a lot more people chose the other option than posting my bag collection, updated bag collection, designer bags. So if you still want to see it, let me know, because I kind of want to show it. I actually did want to show it. I will also do a room tour. I know I've been saying this, but I had my lights fixed in this room and I absolutely hate it, so I need to change it, which is what's kind of delayed the tour. Yeah, my ceilings are quite high and the lighting is literally, yeah, it's not low. It needs to drop a little bit more, well, a lot more than it is now, so I'm going to change that. What have you learned in 2021? I have learned to trust my gut, trust my instincts, because they are 99.9% of the time right, like correct. So always trust my instincts. If I feel something isn't right, it most likely isn't right. Not being so accessible to everyone, because some people take the piss. Some people take that for granted. Not everyone deserves your time, deserves your energy, deserves what you have to offer. People see how good you are of a person and they just want to leech off of it. A lot of people like the idea of being with you. They know the kind of person you are, but they don't want to have to fix up to be with you. Does that make sense? And what's required to actually step up. So not everyone deserves your time. I'm somebody who is always giving, always putting other people before me, and I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it. Yeah, so if you want to add more volume to your wigs, you can literally, you know, the whole like putting your hair forward and like brushing it from back to front, that would add a bit more volume. So yeah, so this is pretty much the look. I don't know if I've got any more questions. My goals for 2022, honestly, like all I'm gonna say is I just want to be happy, like whatever that involves, whatever that entails, whether it's with business, with personal life, with everything that I'm, you know, dealing with. Like I really just want to be happy. That is literally my goal, and I feel like being happy, being content, just being in a good space really helps every other aspect of your life, honestly. I mean, I am a very emotional person and I am very emotionally driven, so I'm trying to separate my emotions from actually getting things done. There were personal goals that I feel like I didn't achieve this year, and it's okay, you know, you keep going. There is no set time. I think everyone's running a different race, and I think being okay with it and not trying to look at what someone else is doing and just focus on your journey, that is the best way. A lot of people have so many things going on that they maybe don't want to share online, and I guess I'm the kind of person who would just rather just get off and get back to a place where I'm okay and then come straight back. But maybe it's time to be a little bit more open and just, you know, be able to share with you guys, because I know maybe sometimes you still might feel like, oh, we want to know more about you and what's going on. And the easiest thing for me to do, like silence, is just so much easier to deal with. Like I'd rather just go quiet, and I don't want to burden people with my problems, so I would just, you know, put it aside and go through it on my own and then come back when I feel a little bit better. But sometimes it's good to share. What's that saying? A problem shared is a problem halved. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.